There is a hidden valley deep in the Australian rainforest, a place where blue lagoons weave through ancient forests, where mountains rise above the clouds, a place where you can sit and stare at the beauty of the world for hours on end.
Yes.
This is the valley we call home, and I never tire from the mountain views or the soft water passing by. The mountains and gullies were formed from a volcanic eruption 21 million years ago. Once, a massive mountain covered this whole area. Its edge hit the coastline and it was over 2,000 meters tall. When it erupted, only the core remained, and the caldera formed these valleys spreading outwards from the center. This is where we live, on the edge of the crater of this ancient volcano. The remaining mountain still exists as a lava core, and it's massive. It's 1,100 meters high and towers above everything. The soils in the volcano's crater are fertile, and it also means that the water is full of minerals, giving it this clear, iridescent color.
Wow.
In sunlight, it shimmers like an opal, which is funny because opals are actually found in these soils. They are very rare, but the opals here were formed volcanically, unlike the rest of opals found in Australia, so they have deep flashes and bright colours. After a flood, you can find crystals all through this creek. Huge gemstones and thunderikes that shine brighter than the summer sun. We've found amethysts, quartz, agates, and maybe once, but I'm still not sure, a tiny opal. There are some geodes bigger than my head embedded into hard rock.
It's so beautiful. This might be the most beautiful swim of my life. Not to be dramatic. Look, fresh water that is this blue. All from natural springs in the rain-fed mountains. What could be more beautiful than life? Oh, it's the most beautiful water that I've ever felt in.
There's also gold in this valley, and in the 1800s, Chinese settlers mined here for gold.
100% real.
They slowly transitioned more into farming, especially bananas because they grow so well in a subtropical climate, and they're easier to find than gold. I myself haven't found any gold yet, but who knows, maybe one day.
It's really cold. Where are we going?
We had some rain this week after a pretty dry summer, and the land seems to be so happy. The plants are all thriving, and the waterholes are full to their brim again. This is when we celebrate, down by the water, floating in the clear blue waters of this magical rainforest pool. Hot summer days are either spent down by the water or creating all day long. In the humid subtropical summer months, we normally spend the cooler mornings working in the banana patch or gardening or tending to the animals, and then by the time the sun is blazing, our creativity is nurtured instead. This balance always brings inspiration.
So I've had this skirt for over 6 years now. I got it at a garage sale a really long time ago, and since then I've been meaning to fix it because whoever owned it before me did a pretty bad job on it. I think it used to be a long skirt and someone cut it off and they tried to cut splits into it, and let's just say they didn't do it that well. It's kind of, it looks like it's ripped, but I think it's on purpose because it's on both sides. So after 6 years, I'm finally going to fix it. I'm going to mend it. I'm going to make it really cute again. I'm going to put a hem on it because it's just a rough hem at the moment. But I'm also going to upcycle it at the same time. I really want to add all of these applique butterflies all over it, or like moths. I think it's going to be really cute. It's taken me this long to mend it because I didn't know how to do it. I had to kind of match the fabric, and there's no extra fabric here, and the splits take a whole section out of the skirt, so it was pretty hard. But I have this also vintage velvet, which is a pretty similar color. It's a bit different, but I've decided to do a kind of visible mend because I think that tells a story anyway. So I'm going to put a seam in here where the other seam is, and I think it'll look beautiful. It'll be okay to acknowledge that it is a mend. Ta-da! You can barely even see it, or you can, but it's okay because it's quite cute. I think it worked really well. After hemming the skirt, it's completely finished, except now I'm going to put applique butterflies onto it, which I think is going to be really cute. It might take a long time, but I think it'll be a really fun project. I'm going with all of these kind of vintage silks or vintage velvets because I think it works perfectly with this beautiful vintage velvet. And these are actually all fabrics that me and Mum collected together when I was probably 7 or 8, and we were going to make this quilt out of them, and we had this whole plan and we never got to it. But now I have a collection of beautiful silks that I've kept all of those years, and I think a lot of the more scrappy pieces are going to be perfect for this project because it's just going to be really small pieces that I need.
The rain was late this year, our dry season lasting longer and the wet being very gentle. It's been pretty beautiful, with just enough rain to keep everything well fed, but long sunny days and mangoes growing happily without storms to knock them off the tree. In these last weeks, we're starting to get a little bit more rain again, and it's so beautiful. Heavy showers, thick fog forming overhead, and soft storms passing through. At night, the rain patters on the tin roof, and in the morning, I feel so inspired by the curling mist and green growth outside.
Hi! So I'm having this problem with the sewing machine where the tension gets pulled too tight from this thread. The thread comes from below, but I've kind of made a makeshift spool for it to come off, and that's not working, I think. I think that might be the problem. So whenever it pulls, then the thread breaks up high. I've been looking at all my other sewing machines and how their tension works, and they all go up to this little thing and then come back down so that pulling off the spool isn't a problem. So I'm wondering if I should make a makeshift one of them. So I'm gonna try adding this cup hook in and using that as a place for the thread to gain a bit of momentum. I can't believe it, I fixed it, it's sewing perfectly. I don't think it's ever sewn this well since I restored it, which is really exciting. It's perfect. I think that tension was just making everything snap. So every single time I've done an embroidery project, it's been quite frustrating because, you know, a few stitches in, the thread would snap and I'd have to redo it. And I just thought that was part of this beautiful old machine, but it turns out it's not. It needed to be held up a little bit. I feel very proud of fixing it. I think that's amazing. I love when I'm able to like see a problem and problem solve and fix it. And I don't know, especially with machinery because it's always so complex. So I feel really, really proud right now. So as I was working, the belt just came off, which is not good. It's supposed to go on here and it snapped, or I think corroded. Ooh, there's rain. So I'm gonna try to fix it, but I don't really know how. I don't remember how I originally did this, but I remember stapling it together, so this must be my staple. After breaking a needle and a pin trying to pin my way through this, I finally found this tool, which has a poker thing and a cutter thing. And this is what I used originally. I remember now, it came with the machine when I restored it. So I'm gonna use the old staple, and I'm gonna hopefully staple it back in. It's gonna be shorter now, so I don't know if it'll work, but I actually found a staple, so I think I can fix it. It'll be a bit short, but I'm wondering if I can put it on this different ring, and if that'll make a difference. I'll just have to see. This thing obviously does not come with an instruction manual, because it's from, I think, 1920 or earlier. No, maybe 1890 it could be. Okay, let's test. Ooh, that sounds tight. What I'm gonna do is move this motor a little bit across so that this doesn't hit on this bit of metal. and hopefully that'll fix it. That sounds good! I fixed it! Oh my god, yes!
This skirt is inspired by the butterflies and moths of the rainforest. We're about to go into the season of butterflies, when winged creatures fly everywhere, pollinating flowers, their beauty radiating through the forest. Their colourful wings inspire me to create.
I'm finished all the embroidery, so all I have to do now is sew all of these ends in because otherwise it can unthread. So you just sew them in a couple of times and then I'm finished. I think I'm finished. I'm gonna try it on. I'm really excited about this skirt. It's everything I dreamed of. This is actually one of my favorite things I've ever made. I love it so much. I'm gonna wear this all the time. I love when I make kind of more practical things. Sometimes I make a lot of silly dresses and I love them, but I don't wear them often, whereas this is something I'm gonna wear all the time with some boots or with a jumper in winter. Oh,